To Around Town. I'm Andrea Ubaldi.
And I'm Joyce Mazzarella. We have a fantastic show today, Andrea.
Fantastic.
We hope that everyone stays tuned because you will love it.
We'll be right back. Boy, it has been a long time since we've been here.
I love the jib, by the way.
I know. We have to wait for that to come right around.
Like, I get a little anxious.
I know. It's a little tight in the chest.
We haven't been here since the end of November.
I know.
Well,
we have a guest sitting here.
Yes, we do. Gerard Ansellem.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You know, Gerard, you've been a teacher for 21 years at the high school.
Yeah, 21 years this year, yes, 21.
And we never met you.
No.
That's crazy.
Well, we said it was because he never volunteered to be with us at Jello wrestling.
Jello wrestling.
Well,
No, it wouldn't be my
not,
style.
not,
really,
in, not in your comfort zone.
But Gerard, you are a teacher,
Yeah.
you are a painter, you are a filmmaker, you are an artiste.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
that's
you
right.
are.
It's a full word,
You
an
are.
artist. I like
Yeah.
that.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
You know, art was all the time important in my life before to become a teacher. So I have been painting most of my life, making film at a very young age. So this has been really my core and who I am. And through to teach, you know, teaching and starting to teach French, basically, you know, because it was the only way to get into teaching, I started to develop ideas of why not implementing film classes in the high school. And it started about 7 years ago.
Was that hard to implement?
Yes, it was very
I bet.
difficult to convince people that film is an art form. You see, because most of the people think that film are an entertainment. You know, so you go
Right.
into the film,
That's
it's
true.
escaping. You know, you sit down. How can we study film? And the idea to just talk and say there is film studies, there is film analysis. It's a very important part of the culture, of the art culture. So I spent a lot of time convincing everybody to do this, and through the process I started with this, and a few years ago I started to think about doing a World Film 2, a continuation where we talk more about filmmaking. I hope that it will run next year, but this is really the idea, is to develop an idea of film being as important than any other art form.
So besides the French classes that you teach, you also teach world film studies.
Yes.
And you have a club also at the high school?
No, the club is really outside of the high school. He has a club in the high school, but it's not as really active that I would like it to be, because
so
people
then
have
you
to
really
stay.
you're with the kids in class most of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Because I met one of your students the other day, Danny Terry,
Oh,
and when she heard that I was going to have you on, she was very excited. She loves you. She said, "Oh, he's so great."
Isn't that nice to hear?
Yes.
Yeah, and
sure
she
there's
always
nothing
helped
better.
us with the studio, with the TV show. So it was like so nice to hear, because we don't really know that much about you, but
Yeah.
just from our pre-interview last year,
Last week.
last week, we love you.
Thank you.
You're just so
No,
excited.
the same with me, you know, I see you all the time on the TV, you know, and I say, oh, it would be great to do something
Yeah.
and be able to talk about what I'm doing here. So I think it's great because people knows me as a teacher.
Yes.
But they don't know anything really, because I don't talk about what I am doing on a regular basis. I'm here to teach. I'm not here to talk about what I do outside and what my interest is. But I thought it was a good thing to come here and talk about
But
it.
I want to talk about the La Cinématique. Is that how you say
La
it?
Cinémathèque.
Cinémathèque.
It's based on a French word,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
So
we-
I only had
figured that
2
out.
years. I only had 2 years left. But the film club is outside of the high school, and you developed this.
Yeah.
You have series. Tell us a little bit
That's with
about.
SOPAC, right?
Yeah. So the idea came very simple. The idea, I started to teach film here, film analysis, and I had in front of me a group of senior and junior, and I talked to them about foreign film. So this is a film club who talks about foreign film from all over the world from different timing, different period, all kind of different things. And when I talk in school and I say, wow, it's great to be able to share this idea, but would it be great to be able to share this with adults? Because as you know, and you know what I'm talking about, as you get older, somehow it's when you really are ready to go into this field of learning about something you never could learn in college, or you never had the time to do this.
Right.
So I propose, I say, wow, would it be great to do this? And I started to do it on a very small space, where I started with, I think, the Foundation of European Cinema, where I show about 4 or 5 important films of the European cinema. And it started to move. I saw people coming and people being interested. So the idea was like, let me expose them of what it is. How do we analyze a foreign film? What is a foreign film? And not making snobbish in the way, oh, this guy is a French dude, he's snob. No. It's not, the point is not there. The point is like, let me expose you to an art form with something that you might know from a country that you don't know, and learn how to appreciate it.
Especially foreign film.
Especially
there
foreign
aren't
film.
as many people interested in foreign films.
Very small number.
The
Yes.
people that you attract, they must have been into this kind of stuff probably in younger years.
Not all of them. I have like a few people who by accident stop by one day and they've been coming all the time. So whenever you get involved with this kind of like film vision or film what we call cinephile, and you start to like it, it's kind of like learning how to taste food. Meaning you are knowing something, and as you go through the process, you get more and more at ease with this, and you become more selective on what you watch. So these people, as they go through, do not watch less bigger movie, and they're more into like the artistic notion of what a good
So
film
when
is.
you, like if we were to come,
And you are
and it
invited
sounds
too,
very
by the way,
interesting.
you're invited.
Yes. So what would it be like for us when we show up?
Right.
What kind of a
You
day
do
would
these
it be
on,
for us?
on Sunday afternoons.
Sunday afternoon all the time, you show up, you sit down. The Sopak it's not really a real movie theater, but it's a big loft with a big screen. It's a very well put together system. So you sit down, and after a few minutes I come up and I start to talk to the crowd of the people who are there, who are like in between 40 and 50 people most of the time. Most of them are versed in film, but not all of them. And even me, I know a lot of film, but there is certain things that I don't know. So I do a lot of research. When I start with this Chinese film series, I watch maybe like 60, 70 films to choose the right
wow.
This is
film.
what's coming up next, the Chinese
Yes.
film
Yeah,
series.
the Chinese film series who comes in February. I know Chinese film because I am interested in film for 30 or 40 years, but
Right.
some specific film I don't know. So China is something I was not very versed with it, so I watch a lot of film. I read a lot about culture, because in China you have main China and you have Hong Kong cinema and you have, all kind of different cinema. So I say, let me just learn about it. I learn, so you come into the place and I will talk to you about what Chinese cinema is. Often I have a guest, like somebody from China who is going to talk about the culture of China. And I talk about the director. With the director, what is he coming from, or she coming from? What are their influence? When did they grow up? What did they learn about film? What are their influence? Because we talk about worldwide, and I give a very wide vision of what the film is going to be about it, but not really specific. More like on saying, if you do look at how the music is going to come at a certain time, or look at how strong is acting, very general vision.
So you do that after the film
Before.
has before the
Before,
film.
that is
Okay.
all before. About
Okay.
15 minutes before I introduce the film.
So put some ideas into their heads.
Yes, and I say,
Right.
well, this woman, let's say, or this director is 35 years old, he learned, or he's, interested in French cinema of the 60s, possible. So I make a connection with all the rest. People ask questions, but not too many. And then they watch the film. We watch
So
the
they
film
have a
together.
chance to reflect
Yes.
on what you've spoken
Yes.
about, watch the
Right.
film, and then when the film is over, they just open up to
Right.
questions.
Right.
They ask you whatever.
And most of the time I give them something to read, because this is an educational venue. It's not entertainment in the fact of I want them to learn and they come here to learn. So I will give them even a page of IMDb, what is this person did at the film, and I will say, listen, why don't you watch this film if you have some time, or why don't you watch these people who influence them? So I give them some background, so they have already.
So they
read.
had that at home before they came.
Yes, they have this online.
I
They
got
take
you,
it,
right.
they read. So they come with
Right.
them. I reinforce at the beginning. They watch the film, and after we're talking about how do we talk about a film. This is really my forte. I'm going to tell you what I look about the film, what I think about the film. So I will talk about technical element, but often the most important, it's what a film tells you. A film who doesn't speak to you does not have, I'm very kind of, purist in a way that a film does not talk to you and does not tell you, does not have the right to consider themselves as a quality film. So of course you have plenty of film. You go to see an entertainment film, it's fine. But if you want to watch an artistic film, he has to talk to you. He has to tell you something. So the core of all the work of analysis is like, what is this film telling me? I'm going to tell you what it tells me. So I tell people what it tells me. How do I see this? How is the acting process? How is the directing process? How do we put all this together? And as we go through the process, people ask questions, and we dig in.
So I don't want to interrupt you,
No,
but
sure.
I want to get to a few other things. We only have a few minutes,
Yeah.
but that whole process is you're going to be with you 3 hours,
Yeah,
4 hours?
about 3 hours,
So
3,
it's
4
Sunday
hours.
afternoon,
Yeah.
3-4 hours.
Yeah.
It's really something nice to try if you haven't done
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that, because you
Yeah.
can really get more than just I'm going to sit back and laugh or
right.
cry or whatever.
We're
It's
going to
more
put
like-
the
Someone's gonna
website
guide
up
me through.
for people to get information
Yeah,
at the end of the
absolutely,
show.
absolutely.
But we also wanted to talk to you about your painting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the painting, should I just film
Yes,
this?
let's see it, because you also have something, is it at SOPAC, the
Yeah,
painting
something
in
at SOPAC in-
March 7th
March 7.
is the reception,
March 7 is a reception.
and
Sure.
it's not only your painting, right?
We're painting at two people. This is another very big thing that's difficult to understand. But as an artist, I've been painting for most of my life. I have my own painting too. So there's two things that goes on in painting. I have my own painting, and at the same time, I paint with another painter, where we paint very, very large canvas, like really, mural, the lights on the mural. And this one is one of them in the SOPAC, who is very big, and we are going to paint. We have an opening ceremony on March 7, but on April 12, we're painting live in front of people with music, a very large canvas.
Just you two, or
Yes.
people can join? People can't
No.
join. You just
no,
two
no,
are doing
It's
it.
their art.
It's
Right,
our
right,
art, and
right.
because we tried at one time. We said, let's try it. It never
right.
goes the same way, because we have been having 30 years of experience. So while we put things together, it's not like anything.
That
Of
must
course,
be fun.
something
Right,
people
yeah.
say, it's abstract. Abstract painting as a balance, as a way of doing it. It's not anything.
No.
Do you stay on your own side?
No.
No.
You can go over
Yeah.
and get into his painting, and he can come over
Yeah,
and get into
yeah.
yours.
And
It's a
how
very
long does
fascinating.
how long does that last?
Sometimes it can take few months, because what
Oh,
we're doing.
really?
This specific painting took us months.
Really?
Because we went on live painting, and after we say, it's
We
not
could
really
like- we could
finished.
fix that.
I don't like
Yeah.
it. So let's go back. We went to the studio and painted. And sometimes we finish a painting in 3 hours. The last painting we did in North Carolina in July was done in 4 hours. So it's not something we set up. There is nothing we set up before making the painting. Everything is live, and everything is like emotional and pulsion. So it's not something we set. So it's a very
Sounds
unusual.
terrific.
I think it sounds really exciting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
it's
mean,
really,
anything that I think you get with you is going to be exciting.
Oh,
I
thank you
mean,
very
the
much.
film.
Very passionate.
No,
I love what you do.
That's it. He's very passionate. So you could go to his website,
Yeah,
which
sure.
we have up on the TV at the end, I think.
At the end of the show.
To get in touch with Gerard, find out more if you like. Go to the first thing in at SOPAC, which is
February 3rd.
3rd.
Yeah, for the
So-
Chinese film, and And if anybody has any questions, they can ask me. Obviously, I
get
am
in
like
touch with him.
Thank you so much for being a great
Thank
guest.
you very
Very
much.
interesting
Thank you.
It
stuff.
was my pleasure to be here.
I'm sorry
and,
that we didn't get to know you sooner.
well, but now we know each other. That's
Yeah.
good. It's great.
And we'll be right back.
So have a good time around town, and
Yep.
we'll see you at the Duffy Casino night.
Good night.